how is it going into Malagant here? So we're going to be talking about this tweet, like every single Twitter Diablo account and you know, content creator for ARPGs has been talking about this, and the same thing can be said for like YouTube content creators as well. They have been really all over this, and I feel like something is being missed here. So I didn't want to. This is also why, like, this is 3 days later. I'm going to be covering this, but I didn't want to do it. But now that like I'm reading and watching stuff, I feel like, you know, a point is being missed. Okay, so most of the people are like discussing, especially in the Twitter comments, like if it's a good thing for the game, like they're not gonna be bothering, like they will never see these items. That's never a good thing for them, etc. Like, but I think overall there's something missing in this information that like they as in like the developers of Diablo 4 didn't necessarily like mention this, but it's kind of like actually common knowledge if you think about it. And we're gonna like delve into that, jump into that. This First of all, this opinion was like brought to me by a viewer of mine. I should say it was from Trend, but I'll try to build up on that a little bit, and I completely agree with them. So let's read this tweet. It's coming from like Adam Jackson, lead class designer for Diablo 4 at Blizzard Entertainment. Hello, I wanted to clear up some details on the rarest unique items in Diablo 4. They can drop from level 85 plus enemies, so that it is content locked. You get them anywhere. You can get a regular unique, and they always drop at item power 820. So I kind of want to say that like this is 820 and above, but in this case we cannot really see above yet. So world tier 4 is capable of dropping at the best, at the maximum 820. There are very few exceptions in the game because they have like some signature items, these rares in the game. You can like search for this if you like. But those signature items are always dropping the same affixes. They're like rare items, not necessarily the greatest items in the game. There can be, again, some exceptions that they can be useful too. I've seen that too also, especially for some weapon rolls. But all in all, almost like every single item in the game is capable of just like maxing out at 820 because we are locked at World Tier 4 and we don't have a World Tier 5 yet, which I think is data mined that we are going to be having probably in the first season, in fact. So that also means when there's a level, you know, tier 5, there's going to be higher item level, obviously, inevitably, than 820, which would also mean that like these items are going to be existing in not only 820, but also higher, unless they have like a different approach to these items, which we will also talk about pretty soon. We currently have 6 of these items in the game, and they're really rare, Adam says. So they're called, I'm not going to jump into like what they are. You can check them if you like. Doombringer, Grandfather, Ring of Starless Skies, and Dariel's Visage, Harlequin Crest, and Melted Heart of Silic. So these are the items basically, and they're incredibly rare, and they haven't been talked about, you know, in both like social media, YouTube, crazy amounts, and most people are saying like it's almost impossible to you know, find them. Is it a good thing? Like, what's the point of having these type of chase items? Isn't that like crazy rare, especially since they're not tradable? You cannot really like buy them either, yada yada. So coming up to that point, the point is that like we are kind of locked right now. We cannot really find them. I really actually, like, this is going to be bold, but I really doubt they're like so much rarer than like, for say, let's say Temerity and what. I don't really think that like they're that rare, you know what I mean, compared to those unique items that you're finding right now. Like, for instance, like the Druid has a helm. This is like, you know, very popular right now, that all the Druids are like almost trying to find it, etc. They're like ending up finding it around like level 80, 85. So this, like in this case, in my opinion, right, I'll try to put this into a good words here, since like English is not my main. Bear with me here. So the difficulty of finding these items are, in the version of the game that is available to us, is kind of triple dipping for us, okay? So one is because of the item level, we not only need to like find an item level that is like 820, but then it needs to be a unique. You know what I mean? So like already finding a 820 is very, very difficult for us right now. I have about like close to 200 hours in Diablo 4 right now, and I've only seen a handful of them. So on top of that, you know, those items hitting a unique roll is going to be very, very difficult. I need you to understand that. That's what I think, at least. So later on, it's also above level 85. So think about it this way. These rare items that people are searching for to enable their builds, right? They are capable of finding these items from like level 50 or something, maybe even lower, right? But they're ending up like finding them around like level 80 after playing so long. So it's going to be the same case, I think, in this case as well, but this is above level 85. How many people are actually above level 85 and grinding items? Obviously quite a lot, but it's not as many as it could be with like millions of people playing. Like, the majority has actually finished, has actually not even finished the campaign. They recently said so themselves, right? So the sample size only begins from like level 85 mobs. So that's the second difficulty. And the third difficulty is the regular difficulty that everybody is talking about. These items are rare. These items are the rarest implemented items in the game. Yes, of course they are. You know, they're the most powerful things. Now my point is, like, on top of all of this triple difficulty, in the next year, or probably in the seasonal, as it was like data mined, during the season, we are probably not going to be seeing these items to be as rare as it is right now. Since we have only World Tier 4 for us available, there are 2 extra, you know, difficult layers that is like kind of blocking us from finding these. Is it possible? It is possible to find them still. But will you find it? Quite possibly not. You know, you will probably not find it. But in the next World Tier 5, since we are going to be having a higher item level possibility, and we will be, let's say, able to find 1000 item power, probably, right? And if they don't change the design of the item, they are not going to be locked into 1000, which they might. In that case, these discussions actually, you know, are legit. But I would probably imagine these items to be staying from 820 and above. You know what I mean? So in that case, in World Tier 5, they're going to be a lot more widespread. So which would also make a lot of sense. So it's kind of like a cool thing right now that you are capable of finding them, but in the season, you'll be able to find them a little bit easier because you'll be finding higher item level items most probably, and therefore they, you know, every single item that's dropping on the floor will have a higher chance to roll into your unique like this. That's basically my approach to this. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Exactly. Like, on top of everything, I'm guessing like in season we're going to have more monsters. There's going to be probably some sort of like a new content available for us to like kill even more monsters that way too. So it's definitely going to be another layer of like let's say farmable content that's going to be make these things a little bit more achievable. That's what I think. That's where I stand. So in my opinion, right now, as is, you know, it's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of a chase, yes, but not really at the same time. So I can definitely see people coming from an angle and saying like, there's no point having these in the games. Like, I'm not gonna find them. You know, I'm like level 6 to 7, and I played so long, and it's been like, you know, a month almost since the launch. It's definitely you know, completely makes sense. But at the same time, it's I think it's gonna change. It's gonna change just because when the season launches, you know, World Tier 5 is going to be available, quite possibly, and then that unlocks higher item powers. You know, it just like spirals out of there, and we will be seeing these items much more commonly in the game, 100%. That's going to be it from me. Thank you very much. What do you think about these? Leave your comments in the description below. I would like to read them, actually. What do you think about like what I just said? Also, definitely feel free to like tell if you think like this is not gonna happen. We're not gonna reach like or like get World Tier 5, or you know, just higher item power doesn't necessarily like make this easier. I don't know. Let me see what you think. Thank you very much for watching, YouTube. I'll see you next time. Peace out.